What's up everyone, Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick and I'm here with my top 40 albums of 2020, the year that sucked every dick. Now again, I'm going to break this up into sections much like I did last year, except this time I'm going to do 40 through 26, then 25 through 11, and then the top 10. So this is where it starts at 40 to 26. And while this year has been an absolute kick in the dick and a shovel in the face, again, the music has been really solid, and there's been a lot of great releases from both new and old bands. And man, this has been a pain in the ass to really sort through and find a list that pretty much echoes exactly what I loved about 2020, which was almost nothing except for music, because again, this year's been awful. So let's get right into it with number 40, Morta Skuld, Suffer for Nothing. This one kind of came out as a bit of a surprise for me. I did not even know Morta Skuld was in the studio. Their last release was meh, and when I saw this, I was like, well, might as well check it out, and wow. These guys came out and pretty much kind of recaptured that feel of those first two albums, which I absolutely love. And this is just raw, gritty, old school death metal. The guitars and drums are so damn heavy on this, and this just pretty much is like a re-establishing act for these guys, because again, the last couple of releases hasn't been that great. They did reform recently, and the Reformation album was okay. This is solid stuff. Great comeback, great album. I look forward to hopefully seeing these guys live when, live shows are a thing again, but welcome back, guys. Awesome album. Spirit Possession, self-titled. This is an awesome blackened thrash band, two-man band, or rather man and woman. I forgot the drummer is actually female in here, and she absolutely rips. This is awesome blackened thrash. It is all over the place. It's wild, it's frantic. It doesn't really stick to like one straight ahead formula. The songs sort of careen everywhere. There's lots of cool atmosphere and riffs. Tons and tons of riffs. I heard this one on YouTube, and then when we finally sat down and reviewed this, I really wasn't sure what to make of it just from the singles, but when I heard this thing as a whole piece, this is just an awesome album. Amazing songs in here, especially the last track, Diamond Death Illumination. I absolutely loved it. Awesome start for this band. I believe this is their full length. If not, awesome album for this band. And I'll be definitely looking out for future releases for sure. Ocean of Slumber, self-titled. This one kind of came out of left field for me. I didn't necessarily care for what I heard before. It was okay, and then I started hearing tracks on this album. I was like, wow, that sounds absolutely amazing. And then I found out Dan Swano was behind the knobs on this one, and the mix is, of course, lush and wonderful, but what really stands out is the songs. The songs are absolutely incredible. This band is prog, but almost kind of more like Opeth prog, except, not their current prog, but their prog when they were actually still growling and such. These songs can curtail from soft, wonderful, lush moments to just absolutely pummeling death metal. And their frontwoman has such an amazing voice. It is so emotive. You literally feel everything that she sings about, and it's very depressive and very dark, but I really, really just got into this. And again, really wasn't expecting it. I just kind of picked it up on a whim. I heard a couple of singles that I thought were pretty decent, and then listening to this as a whole, it is absolutely amazing. So great job. This is definitely a benchmark for this band, and they're still a very young band. I think they only have 2 other releases, so great stuff. Absolutely amazing album. Definitely check it out. Faceless Burial, Speciation. I have been following this band pretty much from the beginning, and with each album, these guys keep getting better. This is Australian death metal, and Jesus, this album is just monstrous. Very Morbid Angel, Incantation, atmospheric, sludgy, cavernous death metal, long, intricate songs, tons of great riffs. It's dense, it's ugly, but man, it's catchier than hell because geez, these guys know how to write some killer songs, and again, they keep getting better with every release. Awesome album, definitely recommend it if you're a fan of just cavernous, ugly death metal with hooks. Right here. Scapture Endzeit. This is one of the ones I actually reviewed for Screaming Toilet, and this band blew me away. This is very much in the vein of like Asphyx, Hail of Bullets, Bolt Thrower, that very war-driven death metal, and man, these guys know how to like throw in bits of atmosphere to keep this whole theme rolling. There are segments on here from, I believe, All Quiet Along the Western Front, and I like the fact that they're peppered in there because you get pretty much like the theme of the songs in there, but they're capturing these audio samples from the movies, and that really kind of like throws you in the songs because the songs are well written, very chuggy, very just driven, has that bolt thrower stomp that, you know, just kind of rolls over you like a tank over a bunch of skulls, which, yeah, no, that seems right. It's heavier than hell. There's no brakes on it. It is just going, whether it's bringing you just giant grooves or pummeling blast beats. Love everything about this album. Killer stuff. Definitely check it out. All right, we're at number 35 now, because I'm not counting. But with 35, we have Deftones Ohms. And I really wasn't sure what I was going to get after Gore. Gore was okay. This was quite possibly one of the most adventurous releases they've had, I would say, since White Pony. Like, they are all over the place. The songs are all wildly different. Lots and lots of atmosphere. I think Frank Delgado really contributed massively on this one. The keys are very lush on here. With all the layers and layers of sound on here, you really feel every song. Chino is doing his wild, frantic screams and croons, and Stephen Carpenter is much more present on this album. Gets flat out riffy in a lot of sections, but again, he knows how to create a lot of cool dissonant atmospheres, and this is just an absolute banger from these guys. I really wasn't sure what to make of it, but I mean, the Spell of Mathematics, that has such a killer part with all the snaps and everything, just that groove gets stuck in your head, and then Radiant City has that really cool bass line that, I don't know, it just almost makes you want to bounce. I don't know, I don't dance, but I almost kind of want to dance to that song. Killer album. Deftones are back in a big way, and they made the list. So yeah, another killer release from these guys. Haken Virus. I was really looking forward to this release when it dropped, and it really did not disappoint. I wasn't the biggest fan of Vector. I thought it was still good, but it didn't really match Affinity, which I think is still probably their best album, but this is right up with it. Great songwriting, loads of cool prog hooks, both like modern prog and then classic prog. You get elements of Yes and Gentle Giant mixed in with like Dream Theater and such, and I absolutely love the Messiah Complex. It's their giant opus on here. It is a song that careens almost every possible direction, but you get some flat out catchy songs. The opening track, Prosthetic, is almost reminiscent of Fear Factory. These guys know how to bring the heavy, and they also know how to bring great catchy sing-along choruses, and I absolutely love this album. Killer stuff. One of the best prog albums that has come out this year, for sure. Primitive Man Immersion. This album literally haunted me after we reviewed it. This is one of the most hostile, ugly listens I have had this year, and I loved it. I don't like the way it makes me feel because I feel creeped out by everything. It's so oppressive and ugly, but every track on here is just designed to pummel the listener, but leave them with a lot of memorable songs. It's sludge, it's death doom, it's kind of noise, it's just layered and ugly and just nasty, horrible things, but it's great. I absolutely love this release. Every song on here, minus maybe some of the interludes, which are appropriate. They kind of fit with the theme of the album, and this is one of those albums I think you have to play as a whole if you can make it through it, because this is definitely a challenging listen, but it's very, very rewarding, and I strongly recommend it. Good stuff. Gorephilia, In the Eye of Nothing. No Morbid Angel album this year, but Gorephilia came out with one, so that's practically a Morbid Angel album because these guys sound so much like Morbid Angel. It's kind of haunting. Giant death metal hooks, loads of atmosphere, great lead work, amazing drum work on here. The songs are very well structured. This pretty much has all the hallmarks of like classic 90s death metal, but with that sort of finished death doom touch to it. And man, this could be my favorite Gorephilia album. Severed Monolith was pretty damn amazing too. I don't know, man. Put these two head to head, it's pretty tough, but this is an absolutely incredible death metal album. And again, if you love bands like Immolation and Morbid Angel especially, you'll love this. Definitely check it out. Skeletal Remains, The Entombment of Chaos. This might be one of the heaviest death metal albums of the year, and I absolutely love it. This is pretty much an album that seems like it was locked in a vault from 1990 in Tampa, Florida, and they just found it and remastered it. This pretty much plays very close to all those old Florida death metal bands, Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, even a touch of Obituary here and there, Malevolent Creation, just name them all. They're all pretty much here. Thrashy, heavier than hell. The drums are absolutely pummeling. The mix is just so damn heavy on this. Everything about it. Dissect the Sea might be one of my favorite songs that has come out this year as far as death metal. That has such a great hook. There's like a little bit of that Carcass nod to it. Incredible album for an incredible band with an incredible discography. I pretty much love all their albums, but I think this one is a turn to even more aggressive music. Like, this is less groove laden than maybe some of their last ones. And this is just blast beats ahead, chugs, squeals, everything I love about death metal right here. So yeah, definitely check it out. Huntsmen, Mandala of Fear. This band pretty much still seems like they're pretty much in the underground in terms of what they do. They are a stoner doom / post-metal, kind of proggy here and there. It's kind of a mishmash of different things, but these guys put out a 2-disc album, and it was absolutely wonderful. One of the reasons why I like this 2-disc album is because both discs are different. The second disc is way more heavy and oppressive. It's more shrieked vocals mixed in with clean vocals versus the first disc, which has more clean vocals. There are great vocal harmonies on here. I believe there are at least 3 members that sing, and they all harmonize very well. Colossus might be one of my favorite go-to songs on here. It just has like sort of that COC pepper sort of feel to it. And there's some really cool instrumentals on here too, but this is a long listen, but it is a really, really good listen. And these guys seem like they keep getting better with their release, because I loved their last one and I think this is even better. It takes a lot to make a 2-disc album work, and they did it. So yeah, that's why it's here. Ripped to Shreds, Luan. This is still technically, I believe, a one-man band, and he keeps getting better with every release. This is, I believe, their second full length, maybe third full length. There's a couple of EPs in there, or maybe one EP. I can't remember. This guy's also in a lot of other bands, but this is the one that I think he really keeps just throwing great ideas in. This album is death metal pretty much, but there are tons of elements of thrash in here, and his writing style is all over the place. A song could be just beating the hell out of you with blast beats and like nasty chuggy guitars that are very, very like Swedish death metal-ish, like Dismember, and then all of a sudden you're going to like a galloping thrash, almost Iron Maiden part with really great guitar harmonies. These songs are absolutely adventurous as hell. Really not a lot of repeated ideas, and it's well paced. And believe me, this is a fun one to just jam front to back. Start to finish, it just keeps rolling through with great ideas. In fact, I think it kept getting better the more I listened to it. I know it seems like it's down low on the list, but there was a lot of other great stuff, but this is absolutely killer. Paradise Lost, Obsidian. By the way, we're at 28, I think. This album is, once again, absolutely incredible, because Paradise Lost seems to be on a roll here lately. Now, I still do think Medusa might be a little bit better, but I like all the different elements that go into this album. You still have plenty of that classic death doom that they are absolutely known for, but you have great goth rock songs like Ghosts, which sounds like a heavy Sisters of Mercy song, and the hook in that song is absolutely incredible. But Fall from Grace, might be one of my favorite songs that has come out this year. The repetition of the line, "We're all alone." Man, it really kind of gets you. This band is a giant bummer, but they know how to craft beautiful, well-written songs with great hooks, great melodies. As somber as they are, it's amazing. It's beautiful, and I strongly recommend everyone get this. Everyone get all of these, of course, but this one is definitely special for those people that still really miss like Typo Negative and love gothic rock and death doom and just doom in general, just all the gloomy shit. It's all right here. Definitely get it. Bedsore, Hypnagogic Hallucinations. I said that right the first time. This is the debut album from this Italian atmospheric death metal. I think you can call it that. Cavernous death metal. It's death metal. But this band knows how to use atmosphere so effectively. This is almost cinematic in terms of like its composition. I like the way that it made me feel as though there's like a narrative to the whole thing, and it's all about isolation, emptiness, you know, despair, longing. Like, you feel all those emotions. It's pretty much as desolate as this album cover is. Killer songwriting, great tension building. These guys really know how to construct long songs that don't feel very long. They feel like a real journey they keep building. And this is an absolutely killer debut. I actually bought their original demo too, just so I could hear some of the early workings of these songs, and apparently they've always been good in all their short career, though they haven't been around very long, but they are off to an absolutely amazing start. Strongly recommend this one. Of course, I strongly recommend all these. This is a year-end list, but definitely check this out. And finally, to round out this part, Testament, Titans of Creation. We pretty much clued you in that this would be on the year-end list for probably most of us. This is another absolutely killer offering from Testament. This is a really good balance of the last two albums. You have all the sort of longer songs that were a little bit more melodic and, I wouldn't say progressive, but maybe a little bit more dynamic that you heard on Dark Roots of the Earth, but you had that thrashy bite, that straight ahead attack that you heard on Brotherhood of the Snake. All those elements are on this album, and pretty much everything you love about Testament is on this album. For a band that's put out as many albums as these guys still have the drive to really just keep pushing themselves, and I mean, they're practically a supergroup. They have to. Children of the Next Level, that chorus gets stuck in my head all the time. Dream Deceiver, man, that has like such a catchy Scorpions-like vibe. And then when you get down to like Curse of Osiris, which is just amazing in the fact that it's practically a black metal song in spots. These guys seem pretty fearless these days, and well, with their lineup, they probably should be. They have too much talent in that band, possibly. Absolutely killer release, strongly recommended. If you slept on this one for any reason, wake up, go to your computer and buy it, or go to your record store and buy it, wear a mask. I imagine that's probably protocol there too. Get it, it's awesome. All right, well, that does it for part one. I'm probably gonna get to work on part two here in a little bit because, well, I mean, nothing else to do. Pretty much in lockdown anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna get working on that. And I believe the other guys are working on their list too, so you'll see those pop up as well. So if you like this video, of course, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We will catch you later.